How will you propose to change the Maplewood Monthly?
And I've heard from citizens as I've been talking to them. Many people comment that they actually remembered when I was mayor that I, for a time, wrote something every month, and that they looked forward to that and they appreciated it because, as one lady was saying, she says, it was down to earth and I felt I knew who you were. And so she was so glad to see me in person, because even though she'd never met me in person, she felt that she had a connection with me from reading about what I talked about. And I agree with you, Margaret, this idea that the elected officials, council members and mayors should talk about what committees they're on and what's coming up in those committees and what are they talking about and what are they advocating for and what initiative are they working on this month for Maplewood. I think people do want to hear that kind of thing. Another aspect that could be improved in the Maplewood Monthly, and again this is from citizens, is that they recall long ago how there would be a bullet point synopsis of the major decisions made at city council meetings. And so if they didn't have the chance to watch the council meeting or attend the council meeting, at least they knew what went on. And you could easily take up a page of the Maplewood Monthly to talk about what are the major decisions that were made. And I think it is important for citizens to know what decisions are made and how did people vote on it. And you know, I think that there's been a lot of trying to just really pat the citizens on the head and say, it's okay, don't worry, we've got it under control. And I think there's a lot of that in the last few years. So you don't hear what's going on. There's nothing in the papers. There's no discussion. There's little transparency. And people don't really feel like they know what's going on anymore. Whereas I know that when I was mayor, we had a lot of detail about what was going on, and people knew. And yes, there's discussion, and not everybody agrees with everybody, but then after all, this is democracy. And aren't we supposed to discuss things? And aren't we supposed to have communication and talk about our differences? Isn't that what we're supposed to do here? I just want to say that council people have to be advocates. They have to be advocates for something. If they can't tell you what they believe in, what they stand for, how can they ever be an advocate for anybody in our community about anything? You'll be able to convince them to sell a park. If they can't tell you straight out they're not going to sell one,
right,
you can probably convince them to do so in the end. I mean, that's just the way I see it.